space and live.
Boom. We are live. Good morning, GM. Happy Friday. Happy Steak and BJ Day. I don't care about Pie Day, me personally, but I know a lot of people do. So happy Pie Day to all my pie celebrators out there. If you like blueberry, rhubarb, key lime, whatever it may be, I don't care. 3.14 what? Corey could probably tell it to us later. I think he's got it memorized. But anyway, I am joined with my homie Blocky Crypto today. We are going to be hanging out, shooting the shit, looking at charts, talking crypto. I'm assuming we got some community members that will also join the space. So if you do want to participate a little bit in the conversation, make sure you join the space. Raise your hand. We'll bring you on up. But my guy, Blocky, what's up, brother? I'm so glad we finally got this thing locked in.
Yes, me too, man. How are you today?
I'm good. You know, I haven't been outside yet. I woke up late, a little bit later than normal. So I don't know if it is a beautiful Friday. I should probably check the weather because we got a lot of things going on today and this weekend here for the family. But man, yeah, 56 and cloudy at the moment. What about you? What's it like where you're at?
That's about what it is here. It's a little cloudy, a little dreary, but we'll get past it.
Yeah. We cruising on into the weekend. So what do you think about what's going on in the market right now, man? This market's just been dog shit.
Yeah, I was hoping for a sweep of that low and a strong move up. Didn't see it, so I felt that it was going to be either sideways or down from here. But I'm hoping to get above 84 and start pushing towards 86, really.
Boom, 86. All right, that's the number. Okay, so here's the deal. As you guys know, let me make sure that I pull up the space just to make sure. We got our friend Hash coming up to the stage. There he is. Anybody else, feel free to raise your hand and come on up to the stage on the space. I want to do a couple things. Blocky and I, we are going to be looking at some charts. We're going to be doing some things, but also I want to talk about a weekend review. Right. There's a lot of things that happened this week in crypto, a lot of major things, starting with on Monday. Now, if you've been paying attention to the afternoon show at 4 p.m. Eastern, I have my live stream. Now, every day we've taken one story that's kind of, whether it's the highlight, I think it's funny, whatever it may be, and we're building this weekend review. And so we are going to talk about this today. So if any of these topics interest you and you want to join later on, great, after we do some charting. But so for Monday, we closed our CME gap. We saw the drop. We saw the fill. It happened. We almost did it like 2 weeks ago, but we closed it up on Monday. And if that wasn't good enough, we'll look at the chart. We reclosed it again on Tuesday. So the CME gap closed on Tuesday. Our story that we're going to talk about is the Taproot Wizards announcement. They announced their NFT sale 2 years, but is it 2 years too late? We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And then on Wednesday, we got news that Binance secured a $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi. This marked the largest crypto transaction and business transaction so far to date, right? $2 billion, all in stable coins. And then yesterday we heard, here's another Binance story, but Binance US, the Trump family exploring a stake in the Binance.us system there, the platform. And then today, we're going to have to find a story for today. Maybe that XRP what was it?
Yeah, I heard some things about that.
The XRP strategic financial asset proposal. We'll see is that real? Is it legit? Is it happening? Does that secure my $10 XRP price target by Christmas to win $1,000 from AJ Wrights Crypto? I think so.
But there you go.
We'll talk about it. Really quick, on that note. You're a chart guy, so maybe we could, I don't know what chart we wanted to start with, but it would be maybe a good segue into the XRP to look at. I want to know what you think. Do you think $10 is on the table by Christmas?
It's very possible. I don't roll anything out, honestly. I'm the guy that just, I play it by levels. It's very possible right now. There's a lot of uncertainties in the market with all these tariffs and all that stuff. I think that could play a real big role on which way we're going to go here. I think tariffs are great. Don't get me wrong, but they're great 30 years from now, 20 years from now. they're not great for us in the short term. In the short term, it's going to probably hurt a little bit.
Mhm.
Even George is talking. He's really uncertain which way we're going to go. So somebody that's been in the market that long, it's like you hear that from somebody like that, it's kind of it worries you,
Yeah.
and it's
Well, I mean,
understandable.
and I think it's fair to say that really you can have cautious optimism, right? And I would definitely say that I'm way more of a bull than anything, and potentially you could say that maybe currently, like in the right now, maybe more of a bear. But on overall, I would think that you're bullish because you're in crypto anyway. But with that being said, we've talked about a couple things. I've talked about it a couple of times this week. We talked about it in our private, a very exclusive DM chat group here on X. So if you guys ever wanted to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to. You can reach out. But as we like to say, you've got to have someone who's willing to vouch for you to get in. You got to know somebody. It's not about
Right.
what you know, it's who you know. But so we've been talking about, if you look at, let's zoom out, right? The 6 month. And do you want to, maybe we could pull this up because then it's a visual for anybody that's watching the live stream, which by the way, make sure you guys smash the like button. But if you look
Definitely.
at the 6 month Bitcoin chart, for someone who here, so if we were to look at like the 6 month Bitcoin chart, what do you have up here? The weekly?
Yeah,
I
right
mean,
now it's the
even
weekly.
that, like, it doesn't look good, right? Like, we have some of the most bullish news and narratives like we've ever seen in crypto. But look at that.
Right. Yeah, these candles don't look great. However, this candle right here, if we can hold up and stay up, that's a fairly bullish candle.
Would you
You
consider that a
see it
hammer
here.
candle or no?
You see it here as well.
Uh-huh.
What did you just say? I'm sorry.
Do you consider that a hammer candle?
It's close. Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the close. We're pushing what do we got? 3 days left, 2 days, something like that. Sunday it'll be the close. So yeah, we'll see where that closes. And as of right now, yes, I do think that's a hammer candle.
So it's really interesting, and we could still even fall farther. Looking at your trend line that you have here, we could still even fall farther, and we are still in the same structure. We're still good,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. And technically, I mean, if you want to get real technical, we want to hold this right here, 48K. Technically,
Hmm.
I think if we were to push down in this zone, I'd want to hold up more around this, imbalance here. I'd want to hold up around here, 70 to 72K. Getting below that, you're starting to break out of this trend line, and I just wouldn't want to see that, honestly.
Yeah,
But technically, if we hold above this low here,
we're still
we're
good.
still bullish.
Yeah, you still have not made a lower low, which ultimately is that reversal sign. So
I can
one of the
pull
things
up
I'm
to
saying, like, on what's that?
I can pull up to 6 months if you
Yeah,
want.
you do that because there have been a couple kind of retracements over the last several years, right? We look at, you look at 2019, 2022, I believe, right? So you see where any place that you've got those two red candles back to back. That first instance where we see it back in 2018, that was a 75% drop. The next one that has the first longer candle with the second shorter one, that's a
Right.
65% drop. And so we are currently like, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, right? And so if we were to
Absolutely.
think about like this particular candle that we're at right now, put it in conjunction with another red candle down below, and let's go that diminishing. So with 75, 65, 55, that puts us what you were talking about in the 40s, man.
Right.
That's a big
Yeah.
drop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, mind you, this uptrend line I drew was, I believe, on the daily. So you're not going to be in line on every time
That's a
frame.
straight vertical.
Right. Yeah, literally right now. But yes, like you said, you see two reds here, two reds here. Are we expecting another red? We don't personally, I don't want to see that because we're talking 6 month candles, but so you're talking another 6 months. I'm not sure when this candle closes. So we got another 3 months in this candle alone before it closes.
Right. So if you think about kind of what some people are saying, I know AJ talks about this. I know a lot of other analysts are talking about kind of a second half of the year, quarter three is really when we're going to kick off. And I think if you look at, the political climate, if you look at, the legislative and how we're regulating and how this is all really starting to take shape right now, we're getting institutions really involved. Wall Street's coming on board, the tokenization, all that stuff. Let's give it a little time for all of that to catch up so that we do it right. Remember, we want to be the crypto leader of the world here in the US. So let's pump the brakes. Let's get it right. And then carry on, the second half of the year. I know I don't know why I feel like I have to explain it to you guys every time, but I like to go now instead of quarters in halves. We learned that from SWE with the release of the Play One in H1 of 2025. So that means half one. And so H2, half of this second half of this year, I feel like really there's a lot of things that line up to really that third quarter. Maybe it's later in the third quarter, whatever it may be, where that's where we're going to see a lot of really big activities. So maybe we do see a second red candle that sets us up for really the pump to be primed. And then, we get to the later part of the year and then boom, baby, we're off. And it's like you said, we get punished for a few weeks to a couple months while we kind of shake things out. Really, I mean, let's talk about the meme coin space, right? Like, I think that whole ecosystem needs a shakeout. It needs to really reduce the number of bad actors and bad, coins that we've got in that whole part.
I agree with that 100%. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy the way the market's acting right now. And like I said, with the tariffs, it's just, who knows?
It's like the whole tariffs can, like, when you say tariffs are good, I understand that tariffs kind of put things into place. Let's for, and I know that we've got people from other countries here and, they kind of hit things a little bit differently, but let's just talk about, for where we are and what happened back in the 80s. I think, automakers, autos were being made all throughout the world and then being imported to the United States, but that became a problem. And then when tariffs were slapped on, who was it? Was it, what car maker came back to the United States and started making cars here, and it really helped the whole industry, like on a whole, right? So you can argue that there are good aspects to tariffs, but then you could also argue that they kind of like they might, like you said, take a long time to really see the positive effects of. I see we got a hand from one of our we got Mike the Modern Canadian in the crew. We got a couple people up on stage in the space, guys, and a couple requests. Let me make sure I bring you guys up. But Mike, Modern Canadian, what's up, fam?
Yo, GM, what's going on, guys?
Chilling.
What's up?
I wanted to give my little opinion here. I posted something in a little exclusive chat group here, thinking, Canada just cut rates yesterday. We're getting pushed into recession because of these tariffs, because most of a good chunk of our GDP is in U.S. products. So what this means, they've already stopped QT. They've already announced the end of QT. So QE is coming. It's next. And, the USA is going to follow, just a matter of time. We have $7 trillion of debt that the US needs to refinance this year. So the idea is that Trump wants to tank the market so he can get the bond yields down so he can refinance this $7 trillion of debt at a lower rate. And then, like you said, the second half of this year, I think, is going to be face melting. I think it's going to be just kind of like, when they took them forever to cut rates, that pivot took forever. I think it's going to be, to stop raising rates. I think it's going to take forever for them to start cutting rates. They're going to wait till the last minute that they absolutely have to.
Right.
That'll be interesting. Now, when it comes to like Trump, and we know that he's got an ego and everything, and I mean, listen, I love the guy. I voted for him, whatever. Politics aside, we understand that he does have an ego. And what I wanted to know really is, how is he going to spin the narrative to take credit for the bull run later this year after we've already had such a, we're going to get tired. You're going to get so sick of winning. You're not going to want to win anymore. You're so sick of it. I'll tell you what, Trump, you heard me a second ago, man. I voted for you. I love you, but I am sick of losing. We all are, man. We're getting fucking crushed out here. When does that script flip? And how does he take credit for the pump after, kind of being not responsible for it, but being in office during this dump? How does that narrative flip?
Right. And that question's for Mike, right?
Yeah, anybody that wants to answer it, really.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Let's hear what you got.
I don't know. I think it's just going to be the same rhetoric that he's saying now. It's going to be like, oh, Doge saved all this money. We're doing things. We're making things, built into the U.S. The same narrative that's happening with the tariffs. And we're going to come to an agreement with these tariffs, just like he did in 2019. And he's like, oh, it's going to be the best deal I ever made. And, and then he's going to say, we're making America better again. It's just going to be word from mouth. It's not going to be an actual thing. Like, what's going to actually happen is they're just going to fucking, flood the market with liquidity, and assets going to go up. But it doesn't matter who's in power because they're all going to have to fucking refinance it. It doesn't matter who's the president is.
Yeah, that's true. I feel there. So we got a couple hands. I know Hash, you had your hand up. So does Neil. Let's go Hash, and then we'll swing it on over to Neil. GM, brother.
Good morning.
GM. You guys brothers?
Brothers from another mother, absolutely.
Beard brothers.
You look very similar. Bullish on that.
That's racist. What are you trying to say, that all white guys look alike, Hash?
Yeah, that's
no, just the ones with beards.
Oh, yeah. So you're a beardist. Okay, you're not a racist. You're a beardist.
Light heavyweights with
right.
Let's be polite. As far as the Trump thing goes, I was gonna say something very similar to the modern Mike, the Canadian. The same way that I'm hearing from Trump right now that the worst deal ever made is this deal that he made in 2019 with the trade, and then I have to watch clips of him being like, "I just made the best deal ever." He'll just do that, and people will just believe it. It's pretty fucking simple. Just like tariffs, right? Like, the people who understand tariffs, like Blocky was saying, like, tariffs are good 30 years from now. But people don't know that. They just hear tariffs are good, make America great again. They just believe it. So I don't think he's going to have to do any dancing around. He's just going to say, look how good the economy is. You're welcome. And people are going to be like, yay. Yeah, just like,
oh, he did it. He did it. We've been saved.
Right.
Hey, eggs are at a low. That's good. Like a 3-month low.
I hear they're 0.6% cheaper than when he took office. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All
yeah,
right,
guys, that's actually what's in Fort Knox. It's a bunch of eggs.
Yeah, just a bunch of chickens laying eggs. It's a head. It's just a head house.
Golden eggs.
Hey, you never know.
I will take a golden egg. I'll take a golden omelet, please.
That fairy tale has to be true at some point, right? Golden goose.
I heard.
Think Trump wants to own the golden goose. He does.
I heard that they don't actually want to go into Fort Knox because there's more gold than there's supposed to be because they've been stealing it.
You never know.
Because that would be the first time that ever happened.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it's true in Russia too.
So another thing that plays a role is like next month's CPI.
Oh.
So, we don't know what that's going to be like. Is inflation going to show its face? It's just like we're on that fence, you know what I mean? And it could go anyway. And, for me, I'm bullish as far as, making a new all-time high for Bitcoin, which that's going to pull all your alts up regardless. Whether or not they make a new all-time high, that's to be determined. But
the rising tide floats all boats.
Yes. I think that CPI is going to be key next month to see where that's coming in, since we lowered the interest rate a little bit. What was that, 3 months ago or something? 2 months ago, they did a cut.
Yes. January. Yeah. Didn't we start the year out with a cut?
Yeah. Yep. So 3 months ago. So we'll see, we'll see probably in the next month or two where that's going to put us. And we'll be able to get a real good idea of where we're going from there, honestly, in my opinion.
So if I think next week the U.S. has the FOMC meeting, if they cut rates, that's going to be very telling of I think Trump is trying to put pressure on Jerome Powell to cut rates, and if he it's going to be like who bends first, right? And I think it's going to have to be Jerome Powell.
Right.
You would think so. I mean, that's like the art of Trump's negotiation skills. So really quick about the Fed meeting next week, the 19th. So it's actually dropped a couple percent. So yesterday, when I looked, it was either yesterday or Wednesday, it was like 99% that it was going to stay at the 425 to 450 range. And right now it's 97%. So we got 3% that it'll drop down to the 425 range. Gained 2% over the last couple of days. So we'll see if that does make a change by next week. So the 19th is the date of that meeting. We'll see if we get a cut. Right now it's like not going to happen according to the FedWatch tool. But
I don't know why that just came through as me and you.
yeah, I did. Dude, I made a comment on your thing too. I see. So down at the bottom where it says all destinations, I believe you want to just maybe switch it to. I don't actually know. We're both. It's funny. We're both commenting on each other's accounts.
Right, because right now I'm actually using JChains. I'm under as like a partner, I guess you would say, under his StreamYard. So.
Yeah. Well, we all know how that's going to end. So, just kidding. Neil, I want to get to your hand, then we'll get to the next level, and then if there's anything else we want to look back on the charts, and then we got to get into our weekend review. So, Neil, GM, brother, what is happening?
Good morning. Happy Friday to y'all. Happy Pizza Friday to everybody.
Happy Pizza Friday.
I was just gonna say, I'm kind of playing off what Hash was saying. With all these crazy, news cycles and highlights, and we've saved this much money. Man, they've only saved 105 billion. They got a long way to go. I don't know. It's almost like this is all just the show, the distraction. You know what I mean? And as far as tanking the economy, I hadn't heard of that shit yet, but that's rough sounding. Don't want to do that.
Do you?
So yeah, I mean that's really all I got. Happy Pizza Friday, y'all.
Happy Pizza Friday. It's also a national holiday, so I don't know. It's
that's a good point.
Yep, it's now I did get some comments. I did forget, for our Catholic friends, it is Lent, so it is a national holiday, steak and BJ Day. So you're only getting half of the holiday if you're not eating steak.
Right.
You could get a fish steak.
Fish sticks.
Fish sticks, nice.
Oh my God, Hash, you are amazing.
I actually said steak, but dick is funnier.
A fish steak.
A fish steak. Actually,
listen. Yeah. Swordfish steaks are probably some of the best eaten on the planet for fish, as far as I'm concerned. That or a blackened grouper.
Yeah. Do you like? I like more whiter fish, like tilapia and stuff like that. So
same.
You're racist. Dude, my man.
What's up, Doom? How are you today, brother?
Pretty good, man. I'm going to the gym. I just wanted to say, what's up, everybody? And Blocky, do you feel?
Oh
nervous
God,
right
here
now?
we go.
I feel pretty good.
What's happening, brother?
No, I just wanted to ask real quick. No, I'm not bringing up anything else, but you said you're feeling nervous. Like, you sound pretty good, dude. You sounded pretty good out there. I'm not watching the video because I'm not going to try to get in a wreck, but anyway, no. I just wanted to say my piece.
Nah, thank you for jumping up, brother.
Let's go. So I thought you were going to bring up the milk jug challenge. So
yeah. So did I. I thought for sure that was.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's bring that up real quick. Blocky, you sent me a picture, text message this morning. You had what looked like a fifth of a gallon of milk that you were drinking. So you just need like 5 more of those, and you can fucking do this shit.
He just took a sip of it.
I would do it live with you if you're scared.
Right.
Hey, Blocky, can I send you some bags of milk and you do the challenge with the bags?
I don't know how I feel about milk in a bag. Honestly.
Dude, I can't. I don't drink milk to begin with, but milk in a bag sounds so weird. Has anybody ever played? This is a game that we used to play like at music festivals and stuff with a bag of wine. You play slap the bag. You find a fun, creative way to come up and slap the bag, and then you like pour guzzle it. I think probably in Toronto during Futurist, I will be the all-time bag holder because I will not drink milk, but you guys are going to have to. I've never seen in real life with my own eyes bagged milk. So you guys are going to have to play slap the bag. Well, again, I'll just be the all-time bag holder. I don't want to drink anything. That'll be fun.
Nice. I think the challenge might be better if you like do it standing on your head or something, you know.
Yes, like a
do
keg
you
stand.
take milk?
Yes,
milk
like a
stand.
cake
Do you take
stand.
milk or cream? Do you take milk or cream in your coffee, J Chains?
No, black coffee. Well,
Whoa.
it's empty now.
Well,
I
well,
don't
man,
even drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee?
because what?
Oh.
Good for you.
It's
That's
sugar free.
amazing. But yeah, if you get milk or cream in your coffees, even in America, you're getting it from bags because those machines run on bags of
True.
milk and cream.
True.
More hard. He hit it. Yo, he hit it. Look, he did this. He understands. Slap the bag at fish shows. 100%. 100%. We used to play slap the bag at the fish festivals over the weekends. Man, that was a different time.
Oh,
That was
I played slap the nitrous balloon, but that was just me.
Oh, the Nitrous Mafia they were serious, man, when those guys rolled in.
You hear that first sound and everybody just fucking runs across the parking lot.
They're here. All right, we're done talking about that. I want to get the next level's hand, and then we got to go into the weekend review, which we'll look at. So we want look, hey Blocky, if you want to pull up the CME chart, so that when we get to Monday, we'll talk about the CME gap close, and we've got that chart, so we'll take a look at that. But let's get to next level's hand, and then we're gonna do our weekend review. Let's go. What's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, good morning. Good morning. This conversation went wild. I lost a lot of the information I want to talk about. The freaking Trump, though, the winning. I feel like I had to get up here and talk to you because I felt like the winning, getting tired of winning was you felt financially like we're gonna win, right? But I think in his mindset, his winning, because he's a billionaire, he doesn't care about the financials. He just wants to win in his direction of his thought process and what he wants to push. So I think we need to look at it in his perspective. You're going to get tired of winning. No, I'm going to get tired of winning because I'm going to win every time that I push my agenda, right?
That's a very, very good point. Yes, I think a lot of us thought that we're going to keep winning financially, but no, I mean, like, think about in his mind, winning is the Gulf of America, right? That's a win. The Lake of America versus Lake Ontario. That will be a win. Now, I set that up. That was my idea, guys. If you could help push that one, I did. I actually even erased Lake Ontario from the map and wrote in Lake of America. So if we can push that narrative a little bit forward, that would maybe get, we'll get credit where credit's due would be wonderful. I'm just saying.
Nice.
But
nice. I
I know
do
that
have
I agree with that.
good.
Lake of America.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with him with the win. No. The overall like winning, like everybody's all focused, hyper focused on finances. Like I think it, like everything with the whole fucking transgender bullshit, everything with the fucking military, like not having our numbers up and shit. Like just in general, I think that's what he's talking about winning. Like you said, is his overall fucking campaign idea. You know what I mean? And I think honestly, if you really look at it, you know what I mean? Excluding the financial shit, because every president goes through a recession. There has not been a president that's had some sort of drawback. There's no president that's had a 4-year term where it's all fucking bullish in finances. That's not ever going to happen. And when it does happen, that's going to be the fucking gold standard. So like everybody expects everything right the fuck now. It ain't going to happen right the fuck now. Chill the fuck out, be patient, Now, if we don't get the fucking second half of the year, if we don't get that fucking push up, well, guess what then? Be looking for fucking 2028. You know what I mean? Because that's how it's going to be, Yeah. But I think we're going to go up. But yeah, when I think he's talking about winning, I think it's just his campaign ideas, what he's going for, everything that he fucking, told his voters and shit like that. I think the majority of that he is what he said to do and what he's doing, I think is where he's saying he's winning.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a really good point. Like, let's talk about that. Where the males competing in female sports, like that getting taken away. Yeah, kind of some of the crazy ideology that has happened in our country and kind of maybe more throughout the world over the last several years. I agree.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, I agree.
Doom with the boom, and the F-bombs. I see there's a comment dropping them.
I think we should go after the KOLs of Trump, his kids, and running the bullish news that we're going to win and convincing us that was going to be a financial thing. I feel like that was a play. No, I'm just kidding. But those guys, man, I bet you they made out pretty good with these calls that they made.
I will tell you, was it Eric or was it Don Jr. that said like this is the time to buy Ethereum, like right before it dumped?
Exactly. Watch out, man. You gotta watch that timeline. We're gonna call him out. We'll get him.
Darn right.
Right.
Darn right.
Yeah, we will.
All right, let's get into a little weekend review here. Bloggy, I'm gonna bring the chart back up here.
Okay, I got the CME pulled up.
All right, let me remove that one. We'll bring this one up here. There we go. All right, so for the first thing, I want to talk about what happened on Monday. Obviously, we have been hanging out with this CME gap that was between like 70, high 76s to the low 80s, right? Well, as you can see right here from Blocky's screen, there is that gap that we filled. And within the Monday, Tuesday timeframe, man, not only did we fill it once, we filled it twice. But so that is now completely done. That was kind of hanging out, looming over us. You know, something, it was a point of conversation that we kept talking about, like, oh, are we going to fill this thing during the run? Or is this where we come back down to after? And as it turns out, it looks like we may have two separate runs here, right? Like, I think that we could classify this because technically we're in a bear market, right? We're 20% below all-time high, which technically puts you into a bear market. So maybe if we are going to lull for a little bit and then make maybe another double top like we had in the last run, or possibly much higher. I'm hopeful that we could go much higher than that. But what do you think about that? That we did close it now versus, you know, at the end of the actual bull run this cycle.
Right. And I do know a lot of bears that are wanting price to go down didn't want this gap to fill.
Really?
Yeah. And that's because they wanted it to continue down. Now that the gap is filled, we have the pressure to push up. If you see what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of bears didn't want this to fill, like I said.
I mean, and that candle itself that we're sitting on right now is probably a very clear hammer candle itself, which generally is a reversal. We've seen that we've made the lower low. I love seeing the reversal candle in green. Technically, sometimes you will see it in red, but that green reversal candle is usually a clear indicator. And if I know that we looked at the 6-month chart and we're talking about potentially going down to the 40s, but if we were to think like, if this is the reverse, which a lot of people are really hopeful, man, that'd be great.
Right. And you see it over here. You know, we still had some downside from there, but that same candle is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe we go up a little bit here and possibly come back down, sweep this liquidity and go up. I've been doing a lot of, you know, studying on, you know, fair value gaps and, you know, supply and demand trading. So, I mean, it's a very good possibility we hang out here for a little bit more, possibly even come down a little bit more, and then go up from there. Like I said, I'm a level trader, so I like to look at things, you know, in levels. This ain't a great chart to look at, the CME gap chart, but, you know, I'll show you some of that here in a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, you feel free to pop open any chart that you want. That is A-okay. I see we got a hand from Mike. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Blocky, I got a question for you. Maybe look at the UST, the tether dominance. I have it in a macro downtrend, but I have it in like kind of like a rising channel. It's broken out of the channel that I put it in, but I still see it going down somewhere by August. I wonder if you have the same views.
And what time frame are you looking at mostly?
I'm looking at the daily, and I see it like going down to potentially like the measured move would be like 2% by somewhere around August.
Right.
Damn.
So the one thing I like to look at on dominance, I'm gonna jump to the weekly here real quick. So let me zoom this way out. So that right there, it's been, now I know the more liquidity goes into USDT, this is obviously going to keep going up. But right here was the top in 2021. This was this was the first top. This was the second top. And we seem to have topped out every time we touch this line. Now, that doesn't mean we're topped, because we could also come back down and make like, another high on Bitcoin. But I like to note that this thing has been in a 7-year uptrend. And again, the more money that gets added into USDC, it's obviously going to keep going up. But jumping back to what you said something about a channel. Is this what you're looking at right here? Or are you talking about a bigger range?
Where you're talking about a channel that starts back basically at the beginning of this year.
So I'm not watching the stream right now. I'm just on my phone.
Okay.
What I have is like we had the big drop down on the daily, and then it kind of made like a rising channel, and then dropped down again, and then it started another rising channel, like a bear flag, right?
Right. So right
And
here.
but it's because this big drop in the crypto market, it's kind of spiked out of my rising channel, making almost like a W. But now, but I still believe it's gonna peak out and come back down.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
think
I
that's what
still
I
think
was
it's gonna be
looking at
somewhere
right
around
there.
the summertime.
Okay, I think I see what you're talking about, because over here was another channel. Then we broke down, come down, retest that 7-year trend, and then we're trying to push back up. And obviously, we want this to go down for Bitcoin to
We
go
got
up.
denied. Yeah, we basically got denied by the daily 200 moving average, and I think we're gonna come back down.
Gotcha. I'm pulling up my moving averages right now.
What are your favorite indicators to use? Because obviously, moving, moving averages are big. Do you use volume profiles? What other indicators do you like?
I don't like to use the VRVP because it's all over here and in your face. If anything, I'm going to pull a trend based, something like this. For some reason, my computer's a little slow at this, but there it is. So I like to pull like a trend based volume. However, let me get rid of this real quick. One sec. I'm a big RSI guy. So I really like the RSI. Sometimes I'll use this, but I'm really training myself to get away from indicators.
Okay.
Indicators.
Really quick for anybody who, because I'm sure we've got people of all skill levels here. What is the relative strength index? What does that mean?
Okay, so the way I look, a lot of people look at this as in, okay, when we're up high, we're overbought, and when we're down low, we're oversold. I don't like to look at it like that because it's a psychological thing. So I look at it as in, if we're above the 50% mark, which is this middle line here, it's bullish movement. As you can see right here, we jumped above the 50%, and it's been up ever since we've stayed above the 50%. I do have better charts to show you a little better, but right here we got below.
Mm-hmm.
It's been nothing but down. So that's the way I like to, if we're above the 50%, it's bullish movement or sideways. And if we're below, it's bearish movement or sideways. So really it's just giving you a broader picture of the strength of the asset you're looking at.
Oh yeah.
It does follow momentum waves. However, right now we just have no money flowing into Bitcoin. It's flat. And you can see that here.
Do you think, how can we get, because like all these nation states and all these deals and everything's being brokered, all this stuff around the world globally, but it's all OTC. So none of this actually will ever affect the price, right?
Right. Correct. Now, OTC is like, if you want to think of it like you want to sell me some Bitcoin and I just buy it from you. It doesn't affect the charts because the Bitcoin's already bought.
Right.
Or sold, And I didn't mean Bitcoin there. I meant USDT. So I'm not on Bitcoin.
And so when you're looking at this chart, I've actually never seen the USDT dominance chart. This is just that was the percent is the dominance that it is on the overall market, the whole market, right? It's not like excluding others like we got on the others or the total 3 or whatever.
Correct. Yep. Exactly. And I also look at, like USDC dominance. The charts are kind of similar, but different, if you know what I mean, because there's different money flowing. Like me, when I'm trading, I use USDT. So when I sell that Bitcoin as I make that trade, it's going into USDT. And USDC is a little bit different of a chart, but it still gives you the broader direction of which way the market's going to go.
Got you. Hell yeah. I've been using like as my, and this, the RSI and all that stuff are definitely good indicators of where we are, kind of overbought, oversold and stuff. But like, I love this, with the last several weeks, the others chart for me I love that because again, I'm not trading Bitcoin right now. I'm not the largest holder of Bitcoin. I've got a little bit, but I'm more of an altcoin guy, and I'm really hopeful for altcoin season to kick off. And so I've really been paying attention to this others chart, and at what point do we see this thing flip? Because when you look at the Bitcoin dominance versus the price versus the others charts, like there's some correlation. There's some things that do move in conjunction with others, and there's some related stuff. But at the end of the day, like when we get the alt season that we all want, we're all going to know because of this others chart.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I did pull.
And I don't know what the threshold. I don't know what we need to break. So maybe we can we could figure out like what is the signal that we've now broken into altcoin season territory.
Right.
This makes me wonder, like, how the banks, they took off the regulations where now they're allowed to hold crypto assets. I think in conjunction with the stablecoin bill, when that gets passed and banks will allow you to buy stablecoins, there's going to be a flood of people buying stablecoins because, again, the easier it is to get into crypto, the easier it is to be your on-ramp to be able to use, where every bank in the US or every bank globally can hold stablecoins. And USDC, I think, that's going to be the one, in my opinion. If that happens, you might just see that that USDC charges skyrocket, but then all the money is going to start to flow into the alts, and I think that's where retail comes in.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
We need that to me is if we think about the push, we get through a lot of this regulation, we get to the banks offering all that stuff. That to me is again potentially could happen later this year. Definitely, I don't want to say definitely, within the next 18 months. I'm hopeful that you could go to your Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, whatever it happens to be, and be able to put crypto into an account straight at your bank. I'm hopeful that happens this year. I would think probably more like, the next 18 months is probably more likely.
Right. Now, what's your thoughts, Chains, on the 4-year cycle? So do you think that's going to eventually break one day? Do you think it's going to always stick?
I think we're seeing it breaking. I think the 4-year cycle, as far as crypto, as the entire industry ecosystem, whatever is concerned, we're breaking away from it right now. We have to be. There's no reason for all of these emerging. You got to the tokenization, DePIN, gaming. At some point, is going to have its time. There's no way that I see a world where we have to follow this 4-year cycle with all these other things. I mean, look at healthcare and consumer products don't go hand in hand. Biochemicals or whatever, like these things all don't live in the same time frames. Like I get that Bitcoin has to, because that's how it was set up. We got the miners and all that shit and all the stuff that goes with it. But yeah, it's time. Like it is time for the rest of crypto to move away from the 4-year cycle. That is Bitcoin's deal. I'm okay with it. And I know that a lot of people think like it's never going to happen, but it has to. It has like the crypto is much bigger than Bitcoin. Like, the world is much bigger than gold. Like gold's not the fucking end all be all. Right. And it's just really cool to have some. It's nice and shiny, but there's other things out there. There's other things out there than Bitcoin as far as crypto and blockchain are concerned. And it is the king. We'll always respect the king. But that's it. Like that's where it's going to play, and that's how I feel about it. I know it's a little dramatic, but
yeah,
what about you?
Agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that eventually it will break. It probably will be this cycle, in my opinion. Like you said, it's kind of showing its face right now.
Let's see. I know that right now this is the Bitcoin bull run. This is institutionally fun run everything. So we've got to let it play out. But I think when the dust settles and the smoke is clear, we will for the most part, for most of our industry, be off of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. But we'll see.
Right.
All right.
There's more.
Go ahead.
Good.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, I thought somebody else was talking. So yeah, I think the more liquidity that comes into Bitcoin, the 4-year cycle will break, and we actually will start to stable out a little bit, in my opinion.
And then, hey, if Trump or the administration or whoever, however it works, if they remove income taxes for anybody that's making less than 150K, you understand the amount of liquidity that can be pumped into the market at that point?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. And with these tariffs, that was the whole point, is to put these in place to try to lower our taxes. But hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, remove them altogether. Speaking of, that was a horrible segue. There is nothing related to what we're jumping into next. All right, so the next thing that we're talking about in our week in review is Tuesday, and this is for anybody that likes NFTs. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you are into ordinals, especially come up here. If you are anti-ordinal, I definitely want to hear from you too. So on Tuesday, we got an announcement that the Taproot Wizards are going to be launching their NFTs for sale that were created 2 years ago. 2,121 NFTs, the Magic Internet JPEGs going live March 25. 2 years too late, in my opinion. No one fucking cares. Ordinals are toast. What do you guys think? Does anyone care besides stupid Bitcoin maximalists? Sorry, I said stupid. I didn't
I'll
mean
leave that to somebody else, because I'm not much of an NFT guy, but so I'll, what do you guys got to
Don't
say?
Bitcoin maxis hate ordinals? No,
They do. Well, at least that's what I've seen from it.
You would
that's what
think.
I've seen too. I agree with you, Jay Chains. I think too late. However, I think that they'll mint out, which is a crazy amount of money. It's like $24 million.
$16,000 a piece, I believe. So what is it? They're like a little over $16,000 a piece. Now, unless you have like some other stupid fucking ordinal, then you get it for half off. So it's like 8,000. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so between $16 million and $32 million, depending on how many people get the half off price.
Right.
I have a hard time tying value to NFTs. I just don't. They're too easy to make. I don't see the value. You know what I mean? Like a Picasso's a Picasso because, first of all, he's dead, and it's just they're so unique in his style. I just don't. I can't. It's hard for me to put value, at least that much value, to NFTs.
So here's the deal. Artists, people who create actual art. We got like Carrie creates NFTs. Like, I would say that there like, if it's a true artist creating something that has value, right? If it is just a company kicking out a generative trait of some dog shit. I mean, if you guys have not seen what the Taproot Wizards look like, for you to spend $16,000 on that, you basically are brain dead. You'd have to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to spend $16,000 on someone's art and it's something that they've created and there's, some skill that went into it or some passion or whatever, like, I get that. That makes a whole lot of sense. I'm all on board for that. That is art. But when you look at these Taproot Wizards, man, this is not art. This is dog shit. It's Microsoft Paint, right?
Yeah.
That's not art.
You're right.
I'm sorry, but it's not.
See, that's why I like NFT projects that have one of ones. It's not just like a mint of like 500 of the same art. Like one of ones that someone actually hand drew, for me, is a lot more valuable than like, here, mint 500 of this type.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that just you're just bringing it back to, unfortunately, this to me is a money grab. There's no other way you could slice it or dice it. It's someone who is trying to extract liquidity and suck some sats away from people. If you're spending $16,000 on a Microsoft Paint picture, I have got a better proposal for you.
Right.
For $5,000, you could send that Bitcoin to me, and I promise you will get something back that's way better than a Microsoft Paint picture. I promise you.
What about CryptoPunks?
Do you really want? I don't like, and I know this is going to piss some people off. Pixelated art, I don't care for. That is something that is not my style. I know a lot of people like it. It's got its place, but for me, what I consider to be aesthetically pleasing, I do not like pixel art. I like it to be more realistic or more abstract or whatever it may be. That is what I get behind as far as what I like. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong. They have their place because of where they were. Now, they weren't the first. CryptoKitties were the first. So like, I think that value should be preserved to CryptoKitties versus CryptoPunks, because if I'm not mistaken, CryptoPunks was like, those were all like the insiders in the background on the phone at like 3 a.m. saying bye, 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 right?
Right.
Isn't that how that happened?
There's
thought
definitely
CryptoPunks
those
was
stories
their
out
job.
there. There's like the famous story of Gary Vee and Mr. Beast and all those people. Yes, I've heard that version as well. I was just thinking more from an art perspective, but I get what you're saying. There's provenance in CryptoPunks. Provenance. But couldn't you say the same thing about Taproot Wizards, right? Aren't they one of, if not the first major collection that's a Bitcoin ordinal? Isn't there some kind of historical novelty with that, like art blocks kind of thing?
What, but wasn't there something that was actually out and available before? And that's the thing, like 2 years too late is my opinion.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I want to know what Carrie's got to think. Here's our resident artist, one of them at least.
Well, I'm coming at it more from like a stupid Bitcoin maxi perspective, because like I honestly, like, I think, like, I whatever. If you want to make a generative project and people want to buy into that and you want to suck liquidity out of the fucking market, it's your prerogative, I guess. I have a lot more respect, like you guys are saying, for like one-of-one art, like artists who are actually trying to like monetize their career in the modern day and retain residual, like be able to make like residuals over time. You know, that makes a lot more sense to me. But as a Bitcoin guy, I'm thinking, like, I like my Satoshis uninscribed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're worth a lot more down the road to somebody who wants to inscribe something like the deed to a fucking house onto a Satoshi, rather than a fucking pixel wizard. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I love pixel art. I'm like all down with like I'm like an old school fucking ANSI artist and pixel guy. So like but I'm a picky. You know what I mean? Like, some of the shit, like you're saying, is like absolute dog shit. And I find the ordinals especially, like some of them, those ordinals and the runes, like they're just like fucking horrible. So like I would just as rather keep my Satoshis clean and uninscribed, and so that in the event that somebody wants to buy them one day, they're not going to want a fucking one that's inscribed with a goddamn fucking pixel cat on it. They want like probably an uninscribed Satoshi. I'm just thinking of the future. You know what I mean? And
I got an idea. Because like while you're talking about this, like uninscribed, I was thinking in my mind, like, oh man, these are some raw sats. And then I got ODB playing in the back of my head, like, oh baby, I like it raw. So I'm thinking what we need to do is start the Raw Sats Club. That we only collect raw sats, man. We don't want anything with any dog shit on it, just some raw sats. And we could sell those for a higher premium down the road, some raw sats.
There you go.
well, that's what I'm thinking, is that they'll be worth a little bit of a higher premium because they will be uninscribed, and so that they could be inscribed with anything still. Something of value, not just a fucking silly picture. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sort of like what Michael Navarro said. You know, if you can tie them to a real person or business, it would just make, you know, that NFT be more valuable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So trying to find, let's see if we can brainstorm some things. He's trying to find ways to figure out how NFTs can be hooked to his construction company, but it takes onboarding, and that is tough. This is true. Find ways. Let's find ways that other major companies have been successful to this point in order to incorporate some kind of NFTs. And just again, we could find some better solutions, but let's think Starbucks with their reward card, right? That was an NFT thing. So now if you've got a lot of returning client, I don't know if you're commercial construction, residential, whatever you do, but you know, if you've got the ability and you've got return clients, you know, you've got a way to almost like your punch card. And I know that's it's rudimentary, and we're just kind of in the beginning part of talking about this, but you've got a way for people as they come back, to create that proof of service.
Right.
I don't want to call
Even
it
a
a POS
worker
because that's a
seat,
piece of shit.
I think you're describing a worker seat basically, and you could keep like a track of. Do you know how many how much paperwork goes in like to fucking the receipt system and and then keeping track of your receipts and shit, and like every year you just end up throwing them all away anyways. Put them on the fucking ledger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like have interactions. Like, use it for what it is meant for fucking keeping track of transactions, and then that way like you've got like every receipt that every client that you've ever had, you have a detailed report on what work was done, where this work was done, like all the client's information. It's all in the database, right? It's all in the blockchain.
Yeah.
That's one way you could work NFTs into almost any project. Just fucking make them into receipts.
Yeah. I mean, that's even so when you think about how, and let's talk about, and this is a conversation for a whole nother day too, because like when you talk about meme coins, you get a bad rap, but let's take it a step further, right? Like the NFT beginning was generative traits, but really the ultimate goal is so much farther. Meme coins, and we've talked about this before. Right now, bad rap, but let's think about this. This becomes now the token for Michael's construction company, right? So his token, whatever the ticker is related to his construction company. And so now maybe instead of NFTs, what you're using is your token as your economy. And so you get people to and I know like the onboarding thing that's going to take the time, but as you go on, remember, as you pay more, you have more touch points with certain clients and all that stuff. And so you take that money. In the beginning, you would have to take that money that you get in from your client and then buy the token with, right? And then you add that to your treasury or however that works. So think of that now. You could use coins and then you integrate NFTs like your Kerry was saying as your receipts, like all sorts of ways that we can, take this tech that's being abused right now and find ways to actually utilize it with its intended purposes down the road. Definitely ways that we can do this. And we got to start thinking about this stuff. Mike, go ahead, brother.
All right, from one mic to another mic, a good way to for your construction company would be to kind of like fundraising. You would basically like a shares to a company. You would have tokenize your company, and people would buy shares, and then that would allow you to fundraise to buy equipment, to pay staff or whatnot, and then you would be able to pay for them essentially like a dividend by being, holder of that NFT, that token. And then, so as the company makes more revenue, you just like a dividend stock, they pay you a share of that revenue.
There it is, tokenized.
Right. Yep. Huh. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not much on NFTs and stuff like that. So it's interesting.
It really is. It's, what we learned, what we all went through, what we saw, what we know of NFTs was, like I was saying, just our beta test, right? It was, can we figure out self-custody? How do we interact with others? How does this whole system work? And, I think we go back to the drawing board, the last several months and probably into the next couple years and really find ways that we can utilize the tech to advance society, to push things forward, to maximize efficiency and do all these things, right? Like we already know with smart contracts, like that you could remove an entire accounts receivable and payable department with smart contracts, right? Like, so as we utilize these techs, we are going to maximize efficiencies in business, in our personal lives, daily, whatever it may be. So, all right. That was, man, we have I don't know what everybody's time is like today. I got a call at 11. I'm free until 11. So we can run this thing a little bit longer if you guys want. We've only made it through, as far as our week in review goes, we've only made it through 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. So we still technically have Wednesday and Thursday to talk about if you guys care, or we can shut it down if everybody's got to run. Those other 2 stories were basically Binance, right? It was Binance as a company. The main Binance received a $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi. And then the Trump family expressing interest in buying a stake in Binance.us. So,
yeah, I got about another 30 minutes. So,
okay. Hell yeah.
And guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Head on over to my channel as well. Smash it up.
Yeah. We are co-streaming today. In case you guys didn't know, we are live on 4 channels. Not 4chan, 4 channels. So we are on Blocky's YouTube and X, as well as my YouTube and X. So make sure you guys give Blocky some love. Go get over to his channel. Make sure you subscribe over there. Follow on X. And then if you feel kind and you haven't done so already, you can give me a follow. But definitely follow Blocky first. That's the rule.
Thank you, sir.
Them's the rules.
Appreciate that.
I gotta head out. I gotta get this little one ready to go. But guys, you're doing amazing. Blocky, you're doing awesome, brother. And I'll give you my pizza order before I go. I'm gonna let my daughter talk. What kind of pizza do you like?
I like.
And there you go.
There you go.
Hope you guys heard that.
I think cheese, right?
Pepperoni, bacon, and cheese.
Okay. Nice.
Hey.
Love it.
There you go.
All right, you guys have a great day. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
All right, Mike, take it easy, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep,
Have a great
thank you.
rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk about the Binance stuff. So $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi. And you might be thinking, that doesn't mean anything. It's not American. It's not it doesn't have nothing to do with a US based company and all that stuff. But what is massive about it is that it was the first institutional investment in a crypto exchange that was the largest. It was $2 billion. So it was the largest crypto transaction, and it was all based in stablecoins. Wild.
Huh. Yeah, I really haven't I haven't read much on that story. I did see it pop up, but you know, you got any more insight on that, or?
I had seen, let me open up I got a CoinDesk article we can bring up here. Let me see here. Let's go.
I'm so focused on the charts. It's like news pops up and I'm like, screw the news. I'm looking at the charts.
I get that. That makes a whole lot of sense. In an unnamed stablecoin, it says, so Binance gets a $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi's MGX. Oh man, this article, this CoinDesk article has got some trackers on it or something, because it's I'm getting my fan going. It's slowing my computer down. But Abu Dhabi-based investment firm MGX has invested $2 billion in Binance, making the first institutional placement in the crypto exchange and MGX's first digital asset-focused investment. It's the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume, with over $20 billion a day. They've got presence there in Abu Dhabi. They got 1,000 employees. Richard Tang, the CEO, previously served as the head of Abu Dhabi's Financial Services Regulatory Authority. Okay, we got some connections there. Where it doesn't say anything in this article, but I know that it was in when we had talked about it earlier in this week, when we had talked about this on Wednesday, there was some stuff about it being the absolute largest crypto transaction in the history of crypto transactions. And I got to close that page out, man. That thing is just, it is sucking every bit of resource out of my computer. Dougie Fresh, Dougie Doug, my guy, 6 a.m. Doug in the chat says CoinDesk does that to his computer also. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there.
I guess, Shane, that is kind of wild to think about. That $2 billion is the largest transaction in crypto history.
$2 billion in a single transaction. $2 billion. That's a lot of money in a
single.
You know, and it's not like, you know, if you were to say, if there's a $2 billion investment, between two major companies or an acquisition, I don't think they just write a check for $1 billion, right? Like, I don't know how that works. I don't either, but I don't think so. I don't think anybody's puts you don't have $1 billion in your bank account, right? But so for them to just straight up send $2 billion worth of stable coins, that's wild.
Yeah, I agree. It is wild.
I'll let you know when I.
Can you imagine sending $2 billion?
Nah, man. I can't even imagine spending $200,000 right now.
Yeah, that's true.
$2 billion.
I was just gonna say 20,000. Shit.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
I mean, that's just when you look at the just the whole idea of spending $2 billion. That just that. Nah, One day, all of us will maybe be crypto millionaires. The billionaire thing with the B, we're a little bit farther off on that. Speaking of billionaires, our next Binance story comes from a billionaire family, the Trumps. Trump's wanted to buy a stake in Binance.us, which has recently come back into the market, which I believe is a pretty good sign. I think Binance is, when you talk about $20 billion a day as their overall trailing volume, like that's wild. Wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
You know, and so with when you think exchanges, do we think that Binance will be the de facto exchange throughout the world at some point?
Probably. I mean, it's a good
Yeah,
chance.
it sure seems
I
to be
mean,
trending that way. I mean, the guys out of prison, they're, expanding, getting investments. I don't know, maybe writings on the wall, Bybit's getting hacked. I don't know.
It's Binance.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't think it would be Bybit. I mean, Bybit's pretty big. A lot of people do like using it, but I don't know. I get weird feelings about Bybit personally. That's just my opinion.
I'm a
I've never
Femex
used
guy.
it, I'll be honest.
What's that, Neil?
I said I've never used it. I got on Femex and a couple of other ones. A couple of years ago, I got on some really random ones like L Gold or some shit like that. I don't know. It's crazy.
Bank.
I've been kind of out of trading for a while. I think I'm just hodling right now. I don't have time.
Yeah, I think
I think that there's probably some sage wisdom in that, though, Neil. Right? Like right now, and I think if you are not comfortable with trading in these particular climate or market, like you shouldn't, right? I'm kind of taking a little time off. I mean, I had a few trades that went south on me that I was expecting to go the other way, and so you just kind of take a step back and you reevaluate, and you're like, all right, well, shit. I know how to trade. I know how to read a chart. I know how to react to it. But things are just kind of little off, and I don't, whether it's manipulation or whatever. Taking a little time off to reassess and kind of, I've actually at the point where I've removed every line, every fib, everything on every chart that I look at, because I want to do just that. I just want to take a step back, take all new perspectives, all new looks. I mean, sometimes when you're looking at the same thing over and over, you get that tunnel vision. So it's like, remove all the lines and all the drawings, and let's just start from square one and just be like, where the hell are we?
Yep, I agree with that. A lot of people, you see some people throwing charts up and there's stuff everywhere. It's like, it's very hard to, especially somebody that's watching that person, to understand. I like a clean chart personally. When after I'm done drawing a trend line, if it breaks out from that trend line, I delete it.
Okay. But do you do you set alarms and alerts on the lines that you draw?
Sometimes I do some breakout trading, but I'm not much of a breakout trader. Now, like I said, I do it by levels. So I got an alarm at 86. I got an alarm at 84. If we get above 84 and we start, supporting on that, that's how I do my alarms. But yes, I will sometimes put a downtrend or uptrend and put alarm on it. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. All right. That is something that the alarms and all that stuff I've gotten a lot better at recently, and I think it does help because you don't have to be attached to your screen as much, right? Like it gives you that freedom to walk away, and this way you just get an email or a text message or whatever it is versus having to be there. But then it's all just part of the strategy. But
right.
Well, I see Jacob just popped in. Jacob, what's up, brother? How was your week, my guy?
What's good, Jacob?
Busy as fuck. Sorry if it's loud as fuck. I joined in here and then everyone around me started being really loud. So
you're good.
It's been good. I'm just been working my ass off. But you guys are talking about trading, and I'm over here kind of jealous because I'd barely trade anymore because I don't even have time enough to focus 100% on it.
Oh, woe is me. I'm building in crypto. I can't trade. Dude, we are so proud of you with what you are building though. With how from when you first showed us what you were doing to where we're at now, brother, you're crushing this. So I'm all jokes aside about the whole trading thing, man. We are proud of you and what you're building, and we're looking forward to seeing the success ultimately of what you're doing, the fruits of your labors. But I can't wait to get you on to do a full deep dive and interview with you. I know that it was my fault for having to postpone the last one because of what was crazy shit that was going on in my world. But well,
Right. Oh, there's the masher.
I don't even want to like talk about it 100% until I would like have my full product, out. So it's not like a wait, because I hate it that like people like try to hype shit up like before there's anything like actually tangible. So I want like a super tangible product out, and then I want to actually talk about it and
Hell yeah.
share it with people so they can actually use it. I'm not gonna be one of those like gimmick ass motherfuckers. So
you gotta tell me this. Nicely.
Tell us. Come on.
Smash the like button.
I think she's shy because I'm here. I'm on your screen.
Shy.
Like,
Are you shy today? You want to tell them to smash the like button? Tell them nicely.
You do it.
Smash the like button. Your turn. All right. Well, I guess usually when my little mascot comes in here, guys, I appreciate all of you being here. This was a fun conversation. We got to do our first week in review, all that stuff. But we have something very important to do because it is Friday. As you know, pizza is life. It is Pizza Friday. It is Pie Day. And we'll say Pizza Pie Day. That is today. So with that being said, it is time for all of us. Blocky, by the way, man, I definitely appreciate you popping on doing this. I want to do more of these. I love the collaboration thing. This was great.
Yep.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'll text you later on, and we'll definitely do more of this for sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. I'm a big fan of that. Can you tell me
yeah.
the smash like button?
Yep. And we thank you all for watching for sure.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, guys. Now we've got to get to something very important. If you are in the crowd in the space and you want to come up for your pizza order, you can do so because it is time, ladies and gentlemen. Mamma mia, Papa Pia, Daddy wants a pizzeria. All right. You want pizza? All right. What kind of pizza do you want?
Rainbow.
Rainbow pizza? Yikes.
Okay.
That's going to be a tough one to make, but we could probably figure it out. All right. We got
2
one
weeks in a
rainbow
row.
pizza coming up.
Rainbow pizza. Nice.
Neil, my guy, what kind of pizza do you want?
Double pepperoni, double cheese, and a side of pump to dump it in.
There you go. Side of pump. Side of pump to put it in. There it is. Bring it. Nom, nom, nom. Carrie, my guy, what kind of pizza are you looking for?
Dude, I'm gonna have to go with the double rainbow.
Double rainbow. There it is. He wants a double rainbow.
Nice.
Did you hear him?
Double rainbow and cheese.
There you go. There you go. Blocky, you got a cheese pizza coming?
Yeah, I think pepperoni today.
Okay. There it is. There it is. Hash, my guy, what kind of pizza are you eating today?
Oh my God! I want my mustard pizza, but I do need some American cheese on it that I'd like to pay 250% tariffs on.
So, hey, we'll bring you some non-tariff American processed cheese. Jacob, my guy, what kind of pizza do you want today?
it's my son's birthday week, so I'm gonna have a Cars pepperoni shaped pizza.
There you go. There you go. Well, happy birthday
Nice.
to your little guy.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
There it is. All right. Well, that's everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We, as far as pizza, what kind of pizza are we going to have? It is, probably a steak pizza. All right. We're making rainbow
Nice.
pizza today. That's it. Come smash the like button. What?
Cheese pressure.
What happened? What?
You broke it.
You broke it. All right, guys. We are. Oh, there we go. We got some great orders of pizza coming in the crowd. All right, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything. This has been a wonderful week. Blocky, appreciate your time hanging out.
Thank you,
Looking
Chains.
forward to
I
doing
appreciate
again.
it. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, amigos. We will see you next week. Ciao for now.
See ya.